12.
It's just the same, right?
Yeah. I still go to the shops in my pyjamas. No, well I did actually the other day, and I thought, but people think you don't do that, you can't do that after you're part of something that's a household name. But your life can kind of change as much or as little as you want it to. I mean, in terms of my career, it's been life-changing because, you know, I'm now working in New York and I have all these amazing opportunities that I'm under no illusions down to the fact that I was cast in one of the biggest franchises ever. But in terms of my personal life, I kind of not so spotlighty or show busy, so that's let's say relatively the same.
That's good. So you're in New York at the moment?
Yes.
You liking it?
I like it a lot better this time round. I was there last year when Hurricane Sandy paid a visit, and I just got there and we had no water, no electricity, and people are still suffering now, which I can't quite believe. But I just remember thinking, this isn't the 24-hour party city that everyone promised. I can't even get water. So it was actually quite depressing. And it was the winter, and it was the first time I'd done, you know, I was working there, so I was a bit homesick. Cut to this year, we started in the summer. I know everybody in the cast, I know where to go in New York, the best places to eat, to drink. So we've become firm friends now, the city and I.
Excellent. So, you know, you're in a sort of an interesting position. You've been part of one of the biggest British franchises in the world, and you did a whole season there, and now you're doing a US network TV show. What's the biggest difference between British TV production and American TV production?
Strangely, fundamentally, it's being on a set, it's being on a set, it's being on a set. You could be in Bulgaria or, you know, New York or London, wherever, and so many things are so similar when you're working on a TV set. Even the people that work in various departments look the same. There's like a certain look that the Sparks have and a certain look that the Grips have, and so it's really reassuring because you feel like you're a home away from home. But there's some things that are completely different. Like, we never at home get stand-ins. If we're doing this scene now, for example, and they're trying to line the shot up with the camera, then you jolly well sit there and you wait until the shot's ready and they light you and then they shoot it. But in America, you have someone who looks similar to you coming in and doing all of that boring. I mean, I don't think it's boring, but they obviously think it is, you know, that they don't expect us to sit around. But I actually like to stay on set and talk to people. But anyway, so that was quite unusual because this girl came over the first time and she was kind of trying to get onto my mark, and I was thinking, oh no, this is my mark, and she's like, you have to go now, and I was like, I just got here, I know what's going on. And so that was her doing her job. Also, you get your cast chairs, very Hollywood. You know, again at home, you sit on a chair, and you have your chair, and it says the production on it and your character's name, and that's all quite glamorous. And then food is a big part, is a big difference. I mean, at home, we get a tin of biscuits to last until lunch and an urn of tea. And then you have lunch, and then you have sandwiches come round at about 4 o'clock. And on an American set, we have what's called craft services. Right? I have never seen anything like it. And also, I remember standing there one day going, oh, I just wouldn't mind some veg, maybe, and some hummus, but I don't see any here. And they're like, you just go and ask the chef. Anything you want. And people go up and ask for egg white omelettes with the tears of a clown in it. I don't know. And you get it.
What do the tears of a clown taste like?
No, I never get it.
Yeah, I see the craft services because I live in New York as well, and you know, and you see the traders for filming when they're filming on location there all the time, and you know you see them guarding the food zealously. Many members of the public walking by.
Yeah, so it's little things that are different, but fundamentally it's quite reassuring that the feeling you get from being on a set, 'cause it's familiar.
Yeah.
And then can I give you a high five if I promise not to zap you back in time?
Can I still do it?
Go.
Like, in the episode Smith and Jones, and when the doctor said this means absolutely nothing and then kissed you, what was your thoughts?
My thought or Martha's thought? Because we're different.
I guess Martha.
Oh, well, I think Martha probably would have thought, woo, I'm in.
My follow-up question is, can I get a picture with you?
Oh,
We can't do pictures here, I'm afraid, because the Freema's here is against the convention. The pictures take place in the photo booth. I'm sorry.
sorry. Maybe if I catch you later, sorry.
If you could have written Martha's ending, how would you have done it?
If I had written Martha, I'm not sure I'd have written her in that direction that she went in at all. So I'm not sure she necessarily would have been in that position, but I didn't write it. So, in terms of the way that the character exists, there was no other option. She had to go. She absolutely had to cut and go because she was caught up in this, whirlwind of emotion, and there was going to be no other outcome to it. So I actually like that she kept her head up and walked away and had the courage of her convictions. So, yeah.
It's a strong character for her, really. She's showing the strength of her convictions and the strength of the character to do what she thinks is the right thing to do for her.
I like her strength. I admire that in her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I was wondering if I could give you a hug.
Hi. So I'm aware that both you as your role in the Carrie Diaries and John Barrowman both work at the CW. So
Who was there first? I think it was me. I don't know.
I think they're around the same time. But I was wondering, do you two ever run into each other, just meet up? I don't know where it's filmed.
No, I don't know where Arrow is filmed. Where? Okay.
That's a long trek.
So, yeah, CW family, but not, we're not in the same space at all. I'm sure if they do a big CW party, I'd probably see him there, but we shoot in New York, so no, but it's nice, kind of, it does feel good still having that little connection with him, but I haven't seen him for a really long time.
I'm kind of just playing off the girls web for me. I can have a hug too. Please, you're just such a great companion.
I'm hugging everybody at this rate.
Nice job. Thank you.
How does it feel to be such a role model?
It's something I take absolutely seriously. I mean, it's something you have to be aware of as a performer. It's difficult because you think, is every role you're ever going to take something that you have to do with the audience in mind, in terms of, are you allowed to develop and grow and learn and make mistakes and do risque things and So there's all that going on as well, because you're aware of your fan base and all of that. But it is something that I do take seriously. Just because Doctor Who is such a family show, and there's such a spectrum of age ranges that I think I'm mindful of that.
I mean, just judging by the reaction here, you can see how many people identify so strongly with Martha.
I just want to thank you for everything you did on that show. As a woman of color, I found you inspirational. I'm sure you've heard the story about when Michelle Nichols was on Star Trek, and she wanted to quit playing Uhura, and Martin Luther King told her, no, you can't do this, please. Young women need to see you on that television screen. And when it was announced that we were finally going to have a woman of color be a companion, I don't think I stopped screaming for days. And I was just so excited. And then you were on and you were wonderful, and I just loved you so much. And I'm so thankful that you stuck with the perhaps less than optimal characterization, as we have discussed some of the issues there. But I just want to thank you for what you did.
Wow. That's really something that I think about a lot, in terms of black minority ethnic casting in mainstream television. And I think my experience anyway at the BBC and on British television has been great as an actor, because I've had great opportunities to play lead roles. And so, and it's kind of, and I do think that it's tough. I mean, as a performer, I've had these opportunities. As a viewer, I'm watching the telly and thinking it's still not balanced. It's not equal in terms of BME casting and representation and Caucasian casting and all the rest of it. But Martha and the roles, I've played a lawyer, a solicitor, and Martha was a doctor.
And you played some very successful and accomplished women.
Yeah.
And, I think that's a great opportunity for you to be a role model in more ways than one.
And that's why I take the role model thing seriously as well, because I was very aware when I got the part, and they were saying first black companion, how does that make you feel? Now, that is a lot to have on your shoulders, because you think, okay, I'm part of that movement, what am I going to do with it? But yeah, I feel like if whether there's racism surrounding my casting of it in the show, yeah, there is. But then you're dealing with society, and sadly, racism still exists. But that's not going to stop me.
I mean, the same with your role in Law and Order. I mean, that's again, it's very much you are the person of color. Yeah. But you're showing how that doesn't have to stop you. You can be incredibly successful. And you can be part of the British legal system, which I guess people would sort of think of as being very male and very white in general.
Yeah, no. So I've been having these good opportunities. So thank that I'm very touched by the same as you are. So thank you for that.
The reactions of the script where they explained the face of Bo as Jack Harkness, and I was wondering what was your reaction on it.
I was a bit jealous. I was like, I want to be the face of Bo. He's such an awesome character. And Jack's already an awesome character. I was like, oh my god, the merging of two awesomenesses. I made that up. So I was really pleased for him. He laughed so hard. I'll never forget. He was so pleased and excited about the whole thing. So, did you love it? Did you think it was a good idea?
I was 12 at the time.
You still look 12.
So I was just amazed at the writing, and I looked at me and I was just so amazed with it.
But that's what the show does well, doesn't it? All these tricks and turns.
It likes to mess with my mind.
Mess with your mind. Welcome, Doctor Who.
And also, can I have a hug? I was wondering what your favorite scene from Doctor Who is.
My favourite scene? From all of it?
No, from just
Season 3.
from you.
Favourite scene? I really like the one where the clone Martha comes out of the glue.
Is it fun getting covered in all of that
It was
stuff?
horrible. I hated it. But that's why it sticks in my mind. It was really horrible. And I remember I breathed at the wrong time when I was submerged in the glue, and it shot up my nose. And as I sat up in that scene, we only did one take, and that's the take that obviously made it into the episode. But I just remember I was swallowing, and I thought you'd be able to see my throat throbbing in the take, but you couldn't. And as soon as you said cut, I was like, glue out of my mouth.
did it taste?
It was disgusting. but that one I would say, because it was something different, and that's one of the things about working on a show like Doctor Who, and David used to do that as well. You'd get in and be like, right, what are you going to do with me today? String me up, submerge me, make me old. You never quite knew what was going to come. It was exciting. I wasn't troubled by that at all. I mean, when we were filming, and when I first got the job, and when all of it started, we were filming in a bubble. The whole thing was in a complete vacuum, because there we were in Cardiff. I hadn't actually been on screen yet, so we were having a great time and really enjoying it, and just it was all a positive and fun experience. And journalists would ask me that all the time, and I was like, no, it's fine. And then it aired, and everything's fine. I mean, it was all really great. It wasn't. I feel like when the character started to change is when maybe public opinion started to change, when she started to show this recurring, these signs of being utterly in love with the Doctor. I feel like that was kind of a turning point. So it's not for me as an actor. It was a good and important job for me to do. In terms of the character following Rose, Martha following Rose, that was always going to be tricky if it's written in such a way that the Doctor is. And this is the thing, it's a tricky one, because you kind of feel like the way an audience is going to respond to a character is pretty much how the writers and producers see it. And if the Doctor was not over Rose, every episode was going to be written that the Doctor was not over Rose. And if the Doctor is in love with Rose, the audience is going to be in love with Rose. If the Doctor's dismissive of Martha, the audience is going to be dismissive of Martha. So you kind of, and I'm not trying to insult anyone's attention by going, people are discerning to be able to make their own judgments. I'm not saying that, but I am saying there is such a thing as a universal response to characterization, depending on what function that character is there to serve.
Say a couple of things before my questions. I just want to say that in Doctor Who, I was sort of hoping to be something like Martha if I ever got a chance to be on BBC on Doctor Who. And that's sure a really great inspiration for people who really want to be on Doctor Who. And that's all I want to say for my questions.
Thank you.
So, this is actually sort of a you question, not really for Martha, but at that first scene where you're on the bloody moon, and David kissed you, did you sort of have a crush on him after that?
It's not an unattractive man. It wasn't a torturous thing to do, was it?
Nothing in my job is torturous. It's all fun and games. No, I didn't have a crush on him. I'm probably the only person in the room. Because it's different, when you're actually working with a person as well. You're completely just seeing the Doctor and all of that, the adventure and the fun and the wackiness. And David's all those things too, but he's also someone who just sits there and farts. So you kind of... Right? Not that sexy.
All the crushes on the wood just died.
Sorry. I think, because, there being 5 of them and there being a different dynamic, I kind of feel like they all knew each other and they all trusted each other and all that was going on, and I feel like she came in to offer, she knew Jack already, so I think that's a very good question. What do you think she did? Why don't I answer a question with a question? How about that?
I didn't see any more to it.
I
really want to, though.
Well, I remember again talking to Russell and him saying Martha won't be, there will be no swearing and no sex for Martha in Torchwood or anything, because she's still got to go through travel between both shows. So she's still very much, I feel like she developed a little bit, grew a little bit more in a different direction. We saw her kind of being more, I don't know,
She's very confident.
But she was though. I was just going to say she was more independent. I kind of feel like she was always independent. She was living on her own, doing her thing, going to medical school, and then she was a doctor.
She was professional, unlike most Torchwood. You thought professionalism? No, the characters. I mean, the Torchwood characters. I mean, you know, they're taking home alien artifacts and playing with them in the world of the show. You come in, you're no nonsense, and you're going to show them how it's
Was she school mommy?
No, not school mommy.
I feel like, do you know what, it was nice for Jack to have someone else from his past come into that dynamic. You know, and the others don't quite know who Martha is or where she's coming from, and I think it kind of cemented their relationship really, because we only get to see them together in the last 3 of the Doctor Who season, and then that helps develop their relationship. So I think it was probably more for that, for me, anyway. Sorry, thank you. Sorry, thank you, please.
So I was wondering which character, like companion, you personally relate to the most, and if it's Martha, then who's your second choice?
Who do I relate to the most? That's my brain. That's a tough one. See, by and large, companions are all very adventurous and very go-gettery and very let's just keep going, and I like sitting on the couch a lot of the time, so I'm not sure I would be up for doing half of the stuff they do anyway. But if I had to pick one, I would say... Oh, okay, since I can't think of an obvious answer to that, I did do a little quiz that you could do on Twitter. Someone tweeted it, and they were like, take this test, which companion are you? And they ask you a series of questions, which is your favourite track out of these 4? Favourite colour? Favourite this, favourite that. If this happened, what would you do? I filled it all in, and Rose Tyler came up. So apparently I'm more like Rose Tyler.
Shake your hand.
You should find the you take it.
Going from Martha to Larissa has been a complete 180. Is there any other American TV shows you'd like to go on?
I've always wanted to be an X-Man. I remember when I went for the meeting with my current US agents and my representatives, and they're quite a force, actually. They're quite a big agency, and I remember when I was interviewing with different ones, I remember going for that interview, sitting in this huge glass building, looking in the Hollywood Hills, and I just thought, I'm never gonna get in here, and I don't know what to say to these people. I don't know what to say to them to make them take me on, and I just couldn't think of anything, so I thought I'm just gonna have to be really honest. And they said, which directors do you admire? Who do you see yourself like? Where do you see your career? And I just went, I just want to fly. I just wish I could fly. I want that superpower. And they just went and looked at each other, because like what I want to say is I just want to play a mutant. And they were like, well, in the end I got it, because they were like, that's quite refreshing and honest. And seriously, it's the fun element of the business. So much of it is so bloody serious. And you know, you've got to have a really intelligent answer for all those things. And sometimes you just go, but I just want to play. So I'm having a great time being Larissa in the Carrie Diaries. She's kind of crazy
on that. I just love the fact that you went from Martha to Larissa, and to see the aspect of an actress with that type of range is very, very good to see.
Thank you, and thanks for watching the Carrie Diaries.
I'm really hoping you do go on Inspector Space Time, though. I saw that Twitter picture with you and Travis Ritchie. He did mention it back at a convention. He would love to have you.
I know, I bump into him when I go to LA, so we'll talk. I'll talk next time I see him out.
Thank you.
Cheers. I've never stolen anything in my life. I asked for the posters that were on the wall at the New York Showgirls theatre in Daleks in Manhattan. I'm trying to remember all the information, and there was all the posters for the made up shows that the girls were supposed to be in, and I got 6 of them. And I tweeted that again the other day, thinking no one out there is going to have any clue what episode this is from. I tweeted, who can tell me where that's from in Doctor Who? Like, the amount of people that do it. Like, Daleks in Manhattan in the theatre, of course. I was like, wow, it's incredible. So yeah, I have those on my board in my bedroom. Thank you. I loved all that stuff. I loved it. I'd never been to the Globe before, and to have the run of the place in the middle of the night, you know, there was nowhere off limits, and I was like, whoa. So that was really, really fantastic experience, and yeah, that was the first time travel episode, so all of it was really exciting. I remember having really bad shin splints during filming that, because we did so much running in the first one in heels, that I was taking painkillers because I had toothache at the time, so I didn't know I was dulling the pain in my legs at the same time. When I stopped taking the painkillers, I just remember one day filming the Shakespeare Code, just like falling over on the cobblestones, and I was just like, oh no.
So running in heels not recommended?
Not recommended. So that happened then as well. So it was a real crazy time filming that second one, but it was fundamentally fun and one of my favourite episodes. Thank you. Hello.
You're amazing, first of all. Second of all, Human Nature Family Blood I just watched a week ago, and well, a few days ago, and I was blown away by your performance in 1913, how you handled that, how you really, I thought for the whole entire episode, just held your own as that main character, and the way you dealt with the different characters and dynamics. So amazing performance in those two episodes. The writing also was very incredible, but you were just amazing in it. So happy with one. And my only question was, I had heard legendary pranking occurred on the set of Doctor Who with David Tennant, John Barrowman, and yourself. What was your favorite prank that happened to you, or not happened to you?
Can you talk about them if they
No. I've probably spoken about them all already. Nothing new pops to mind. I've told the one about the on Doctor Who, or okay, on Doctor Who, I told you there was many as well. But there was I know I've told the story before, but the only one that comes to mind where John and David and I were running down this corridor, and there was these double doors at the end, and they were supposed to blast open, get held by the props department so they don't swing back, and then the camera crew was there, so we were supposed to be quite dramatic, run in, deliver the lines, run off. And then what had been planned was, and what eventually happened was, we run through, the doors blast open, and then we break out into show tune and show song and dance, and I failed. I couldn't do it, because number one, I thought, we're not here to waste time. This is part of the rules, but John and David were very naughty, so I ducked off to the side while the two of them did their whole routine, and then the director Jack cut, so it made it onto the footage somewhere. Okay, so I haven't seen... Sorry. I saw all of Rose's episodes, I saw all of mine, all of Catherine's, and then I haven't seen the show for about 3 years. So much so that when I was watching 50th, I was tweeting, what? Why is that happening? When did that happen? And everyone was giving me the answers. I was like, thanks guys. When did TARDIS get clipped on that river song? Gave him that. So it's a strange thing, because when you're part of it, it takes up every waking minute of your world. And then I mean that was 7 years ago that I was doing it. So my life sort of moved on in that direction, and I only really watched a little bit of Doctor Who when I was growing up. I didn't have the exposure to it that you have. I watched Sylvester McCoy and Ace. They were my team. And then it was off the telly for many years. So I've never had that sort of saturation with it. So no, I haven't seen it for a long time. I watched one episode of Cara with my brother, and he totally fancies her. So we watched it, and I was like, oh, look at you. So I think she's very beautiful, but I haven't seen enough of the companions.
Hello. Of course, you were on Doctor Who, but you also were featured on Torchwood, and I was wondering what the difference between being on those two different shows was.
Well, it sort of fundamentally felt like the same show in a way, because the sets went next door as well. You had the TARDIS interior, and then you walk along the corridor and it would be the hub. So I felt like I was always in the same building when we were shooting. A lot of the crew were the same, a lot of the writers were the same, and I was playing the same character. So it felt more like an extension of the job for me and a development opportunity for Martha, and rather than it feel like a completely different outing. But then the tone of the show is different, so it gave me, it refreshed it all a little bit to be able to go between the two.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for staying a few extra minutes. Freema Agyeman, everybody.